Welcome back to Wild TV on the Hour. I'm Caleb Ben David, coming to you live from Israel, bringing you all of the biggest headlines from across the region. Let's take a look at the latest developments. It is day 26 of the war with Iran, and Operation Roaring Lion continues with Israeli airstrikes on Iranian missile launchers, targeted elimination of operatives, and the bombing of weapon production sites. The IDF sent ongoing waves of airstrikes on the Iranian terror regime's ballistic missile program aimed at reducing threats to Israel's home front. Over 600 strikes have hit missile infrastructure in recent days. Intelligence reports low morale, absenteeism, and wear among Revolutionary Guard's missile units. Operatives are fearing for their safety and reportedly refusing to enter launch sites due to systematic targeted strikes. The Israeli Air Force destroyed a loaded ballistic missile launcher ready to be fired at Israel. Footage shows the IDF shows the launcher neutralized, preventing an attack. Additional strikes hit storage and launch sites, including personnel across western Iran. On the home front, a wave of Iranian airstrikes at Israel this morning, with air raid sirens ringing out 3 times in 1 hour across central Israel. One missile landed in an open area as Iran apparently tried to target the Hadera power station. No injuries or damages reported in those strikes. Meanwhile, the 27-year-old woman killed in a Hezbollah rocket attack on northern Israel yesterday has been identified as Nuriel Dubin, a youth counselor who was about to be married. She was fatally wounded by shrapnel on Road 90 after a barrage of around 30 rockets targeted the Rosh Pinah area. 2 others were lightly injured. MDA medics said they found her unconscious with severe injuries and were forced to declare her dead at the scene. Separately, an Iranian missile impact in Sfat lightly wounded 2 people from glass shards. President Trump says Iran has offered a, quote, very significant prize related to oil, gas, and the Strait of Hormuz, and says a resolution to the war could be possible. Trump claims the U.S. and Iran have held productive talks on a complete end to hostilities. The talks involving his envoy Steve Witkoff, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, and other senior officials. Trump says Iran wants to make a deal. Some U.S. strikes on Iranian targets have been postponed as negotiations continue, signaling a possible diplomatic off-ramp. Iran, though, denies any talks are taking place, accusing Trump of using negotiations to escape a difficult situation. Now, Trump says the talks have gone perfectly, but warned if negotiations fail, military action will continue. Let's take a listen to President Trump.
If we can end this without more lives being down, without knocking out $10 billion electric plants that are brand new and the apple of their eye, I'd like to be able to do that, you know. But they can't have certain things. I mean, you know the things. I don't have to go over the list, but again, it starts with no nuclear weapons, and they've agreed to that. There won't be any nuclear weapons. They're not going to have, and they're not going to have enrichment, any of those things. But look, I hate to say that we're in a very good bargaining position, and I hate to say that they're defenseless because, you know, until that last missile is fired, they have little power. But we are in about the best bargaining position.
For their part, Iranian officials continue to deny the existence of talks with the U.S. An Iranian military spokesperson says the U.S. is negotiating with itself. And speaking directly to the U.S. president, that Iranian military spokesman said, people like us can never get along with people like you. That remark comes a day after the president said Tehran wants to make a deal to end the war. And that ends this update on ILTV. Of course, you can continue to follow us on our broadcasts or on our social media platform. You can check out our app. There is the QR code there on your screen. I'm Caleb Ben David. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned with ILTV.